Hello friends, acquaintances, and enemies of all ages, my name is Combat Bird, and this is my new series, Let's Get Physical, where we go over all of my favorite physics games from when I was growing up, and someday the games that you all recommend to me. Today's game is known as Walaber's Trampoline. Now I want to start this off by briefly going into who Walaber himself is. Walaber is the online alias for a man named Tim Fitzrandolph, who is a solo game developer known for developing freeware that tends to revolve around physics. He's most famously known for Jelly Car, and has since released quite a few other games. He seems like a genuinely friendly person, and I'll link to his Twitter and his website in the description below if you wanted to check him out. Alright, on to the game. Walaber's Trampoline is, well, exactly what you'd expect from the name, a trampoline simulator. The game was made back in 2006 and hasn't aged entirely well, but considering the amount of work that a game like this would have taken, Walaber making this by himself is quite an achievement. You play as a created character whose goal is to win the National Trampoline Championship. You do this by working your way up the ropes, gaining more and more skills as you go on, learning new tricks along the way. The game controls are very unique. The spacebar allows you to jump, the arrow keys allow you to put some horizontal momentum onto the character or do twists, and the S, D, and F keys allow for different positions. The combination of all of these things gives you the ability to do a huge variety of trampoline tricks. Now this game can actually be quite difficult and requires very good timing. In fact, that's what the entire game really comes down to, memorization of tricks and timing. You start out as a traditional, everyday, spandex-wearing man or woman who wants nothing more than to be the greatest trampoline gymnast in the world. But you're barely capable of landing on your back without breaking your neck. As you begin to learn, you gain skill points that grant your character higher jumps, faster spin times, and quicker twists. Eventually you get into the first gym, which apparently doesn't have very many people in it, but it's so realistic, it even has someone like myself in it. Yep, just gonna stretch before I start my workout. Really gotta stretch. Go on without me. Seriously, this guy never stops stretching. At least the other guy does something eventually. Anyways, by this point you're about ready to enter your first competition where you have to complete a couple of requirements while doing a 5-trick routine. And then the game just follows that pattern from there. I do want to point out a couple of flaws real quick before you try to play it though. Sometimes you'll want to do a certain number of twists, but after pressing the up key, nothing will happen. If you then press it again, you'll not only do the second twist, but also the first. It's almost as if it buffers twists sometimes, and this can be a little irritating. The other issue is that towards the mid-game, your character has such good stats that doing basic moves can actually be more difficult. Like here, I'm supposed to do a Barani to continue, which is where I front flip, but twist once to be facing the other direction when I land. The example the game gives you shows that you should jump 3 times for height, and then charge the direction meter up all the way. But look what happens when I do that! I go flying at the speed of sound, pulling off at least one more flip depending on the position I take. Now keep in mind that these flaws may deter some, but this game is still completely worth giving a shot. It's still better than 90% of the Steam Greenlight games. Normally I'd say that I'd put a link to it in the description since it's free, but for some reason Walaber has changed his site so that you can no longer download his games. You can still find it online, but it can be a little difficult. Anyways guys, this was my video on Walaber's Trampoline. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. I also wanted to point out that I'm doing my best to stick to at least one video a week, so make sure you subscribe to keep up with that. I have a new series that's quite bigger than what I've done so far in the works, and I'm excited to release it. Thanks again, and as always, have a wonderful rest of your day.